Good evening, everybody. My name is Joanne Johnson, and tonight I am going to talk to you about my journey in baking. Learning how to bake was one of the best things that happened in my life. Back then, I was not fond of baking. I'd eat as a tiring chore and waste of time. We do have an oven in our home. However, I only use it for cooking food like chicken and mac and cheese. As for my habits personally, I like to cook and bake in the kitchen. I know a lot of people will say how baking and cooking differ one another, especially because baking requires all the exact ingredients and following the right instruction. While on the other hand, cooking is about getting the right amount of kick and flavor of the dish. And you can even wing it if you want it as long as you get the right outcome. Personally, my perspective on that is they have one common denominator, and that is love. I like to add my special ingredients whenever I bake or cook with love. It will be delicious because you poured heart out on to it. Baking make me happy. Why? Because baking it helps me get rid of negative thoughts in my head and help me to focus more on positive thoughts. I am happier than ever with baking right by my side. Nowadays, I just laugh at times when I have bad thoughts about baking. Somehow, baking become my hobby. Upon hearing their story, I was intrigued by what impact would have on me. Moreover, I decided to shrug off all prejudice in which I had before in hand and tried my best on learning more about baking. I went over to YouTube to see for myself what baking is truly like. Not only that, but also I read blogs about recipe and tips how to bake properly. In a happy whenever I bake baking at the moment, I wonder what would happen to me if I took it up as a hobby. Since then, I have mastered baking pastry. One of my favorite things to bake is chocolate chips cookies. Accepting the fact that maybe baking is not for me and that I was blinded by what I want to see. Then I remember something important. I remember that sometimes we need experience hard times to realize what's happening before us. To realize that is important. I realized that I need to work hard to pursue my dream. I stopped looking to baking as a chore instead of considering it as a hobby. Ended up changing my perspective on it. Baking was of the best thing that happened in my life. Thank you very much and God bless you all.